After doing countless hours of research, decided to go with the Translogic Quickshifter for my 2013 Gsxr 1000. Alright guys, just want to start the video off talking about the location of the coils versus the location of the injectors. I guess when I called, the guy wanted to make sure I knew, because some people are getting confused on the locations of these. So these are your injectors. There's on top and bottom. You can't. Let me go to the other side. So here you can see better. Got top, and then on bottom, both your injectors. You're not going to be touching these whatsoever. What you're going to be touching, you're going to take off your intake manifold. I should have did this video sooner so you can see all the steps, but for the sake of helping you guys out in this area, these are your coils right here. So these are what go down into the spark plug. That's what you're going to be tapping into. You are not going to be tapping into the injectors. Ooh, looks much dirtier on the video. I wanted to talk now about the color coding on the wires. So this is, again, this is a 2013 Gsxr 1000. Doesn't have any like motor modifications, nothing like that. When I called the guy, because the manual is a little confusing, talks about the yellow dots. There's two plugs that have the yellow dots, and basically what it says is that some of your wires don't line up properly, and they're not going to work for every application, so you may have to unplug and switch the wires around. So that kind of threw me off from the get-go, and I tried to figure it out on my own, but all the wires are different colors, you can see in here. So I gave him a call and I talked to I forgot his name. It's out of the Florida shop. Anyways, he informed me that for this particular model, the Gsxr 1000 2013, that you do not have to switch any wires around, and nor does any of the colors need to line up. He says just go ahead and plug in any of the harnesses to any of the plugs that comes with, and you'll be good to go. Alright, just so you guys understand what I'm talking about. So when you get the harness from Translogic, it comes with this plug and this plug for every coil. So you have a total of one of these and one of these for every coil. Now this white one was originally plugged into this coil right here. But with the Translogic harness, I was able to plug this one in, and the buddy right here is going to plug right into that. So it's like a little buddy system that jumps into the, interferes into the normal OEM harness. Alright, so next, after I got all those plugged in and kind of tucked away the best I could, try to have not, the wires not rubbing on anything or it's going to cause a problem. It says not to run these or any of the wires along the harness, but as you can see on this side, those are the throttle cables, and there's nothing to really, I mean, I guess I could have bought some stickies and put the sticky zip tie things over there, but I don't have any, and I don't feel like going anywhere, so I just ran it right alongside the harness. And then through and into here, it's a cluster right now. I'm going to tighten that up later once I know that I got these two the right way. Those are for the actual Quickshifter unit itself. And since I reversed my shifting on this bike, because it's mostly going to be a track bike, I don't know if it's set up properly yet. So I'm going to find that out soon to be. But this right here is the only other wire that needs to be ran somewhere else. So this is the ground that runs, I ran it through, down, and into the battery. As for the unit itself, you can kind of see it right there. Once I get these wires tucked away better, you'll be able to. So here's the actual Quickshifter unit itself. This took a little bit of playing with to get right. I did switch the shifting to reverse, as I mentioned previously, and it is now going to be, I'm guessing, a pull system. So that would be, first gear, second gear, third gear. But originally this was flipped the other way, so like that. And I'm pretty sure it would have been a pull system if I would have continued it that way. Anyways, these both are reverse thread and straight thread. From what I thought I could see inside of there, the threads looked a little, they looked clean, but they looked funny because I've never seen ones that go both ways. So anyways, unlike me, I don't do that. So basically, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. These have to be here, both of these, if you're gonna run, I mean for this bike, if you're gonna run it like this. So there is a short one and a long one of the actual rod itself. This is the long one, this is the short one. No thread locker on this, no thread locker at all. And just play with it a little bit. If you have any problems, you can comment in there and I'll tell you exactly how I got mine together. But I think you'll be able to figure it out from the picture here. One more thing I want to mention before I go on to putting this thing back together. Guys, cover these things up. If you're working in here and your bike's dirtier than mine, which I didn't realize my bike was so dirty, but it's pretty dirty in there, and something falls in here, and then some knucklehead comes over here and twists your throttle, there's a good chance it's going to fall down into your intake there. So just save yourself the hassle and cover those things up. Real quick, one more thing I forgot to add in here. So bone stock, this right here is where the shifter rod, I guess you could call it, is located. If you're gonna do reverse shifting, you have to move this thing back, because otherwise it hits right here on this bolt. See, it's already pretty close after I've moved it back. Make sure if you guys take it off, you put it back on with blue thread locker, not red. And that being said, it also moved my shifter back, so I'm probably gonna have to come in here and move my rear sets back too. As you can see, I have another spot to go right there, because when I sat on the bike it seemed a little too close already. But just an FYI there for you guys, if you do go to do this and you realize you can't, if you want to do the reverse shifting, just make sure you move this piece back. And it's just on there with a little C-clip. Take that thing off and the whole piece slides off. And then back behind it, I think it was, I want to say it was a 16, 17 millimeter, to take the actual rod itself out. Just make sure you clean it, because as you can see, it's pretty dirty in here from chain lube or whatever else. If the threads are dirty in there, just spray them out with some brake cleaner. I know I'm jumping back and forth here a lot, but just so you guys know what I was talking about earlier in the video. So you have this one here, which is the red and blue wire right here, and then you have the green and blue wire right here. See, it has a plug on it. There's no wires on that end. What I was talking about earlier about having my shifting reversed, which is cool about the Translogic, is this application will work for either one. So if you want to do regular shifting, which is with the stock setup, it would have been the green and blue, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I'm gonna find out as soon as I get this thing fully back together. But my point here was, with the Translogic Quickshifter, you can do either push setup or a pull setup. Little 600 went by. But yeah, so push or a pull setup comes able to do either one, which is pretty awesome.